Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and always go beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee, co-host Raina, and today is Tag Tuesday, so we are going to do a tag for you. My tags are kind of piling up again, so I may do another one this week, but for now, I'm going to do the Bookish Elements Tag. And this is a new tag. It was created by Sarah at My Granny Era. I will put a link in the description to that. Gotta get the snacks. Sorry. Co-host looks hungry, doesn't she? Okay, so this tag now, Bookish Elements Tag, is all about the stuff that we use to accessorize our reading. So here are the questions. The first is, how do you feel about foreshadowing or dropped hints? Well, I love them. I love it when at the end of a chapter, the author gives you this little cliffhanger kind of, that makes you want to just flip those pages as fast as you can and kind of get back to that situation. Plus, it's sometimes kind of an ego boost because if it's a whodunit and I can figure out by the hints, then, I think I'm like Kay Scarpetta or something like that. So yeah, I love that. That's fun with me. So bookmarks is the second question, and they ask, what do you use and how do you feel about bending the corner down? I don't really have feelings about bending the corner down. I just don't do it. I used to do it sometimes, but I don't do it so much anymore. Everything's so expensive. Books are expensive. I like to treat them right so that when they get passed along to other people, which is another thing I like to do, they're in decent condition and can be read and there's no problems. So I don't usually do that myself. Mostly I use bookmarks, but when I can't find one, I'll use anything and everything, basically. I've been known to use my set of keys, my cell phone, the arm of my reading glasses, the book jacket. That's another classic. We just kind of take the jacket fold, kind of stick it into the page there that you're on so that you have your page marked. So yeah, I use just about anything when I can't get my hands on a bookmark right away. A napkin happens to be a Christmas one. That's a classic. And of course there's always the classic Post-it note. So number 3 is about forgotten bookmarks. Have you ever found something strange in a book? I don't know if I've ever found anything really strange, but there are some things that are notable. I've found tons of bookmarks. I mean, here's a couple of examples. I know these are from bookstores that I never went to and maybe never will go to. That one's in California. This is apparently, I think, some type of magazine, The Skeptical Inquirer. It's kind of cool because it's got Sasquatch on the back. That's probably why I kept that. I kept this because I love sea turtles, but I don't belong to the World Wildlife Federation. But anyway, yeah, and sea turtles on the back. I think that's a really cool bookmark. I use this one a lot, actually. And now today I found this in a book, just today. Little Allen wrench. I had no idea it was in the book, but today I happened to be looking down at the shelf and I noticed across the tops of the books, and that's when I spotted this. It was in a book that I had picked up from the Goodwill. So next time I buy something at IKEA, I'm good to go. I found lots of inscriptions in books. Sometimes they're inspiring. Usually they just say, to so-and-so, congrats on your graduation or something like that. But sometimes someone will write something that, indicates how much they liked the book and what it might have meant to them. And that can be kind of touching and interesting to find. I've found a couple of books now that are signed by the author. Here's one here. Just kind of unexpected, boom, there it was. I think I had even taken this book home from like the little free library when I discovered that. So yeah, I read this a couple years ago. It was a pretty good book too. So number 4 is inscriptions and annotations. How do you feel about writing in a book, and how do you annotate if you do? I have inscribed books that I've given to people before, but not really very often. Generally, I don't, again, write in books, just like I don't bend the corners. And if I do annotate, it will usually be by a Post-it note, or maybe just a written note that I leave between the pages or tucked in the jacket cover of notes that maybe I'm making for when I review that book. Number 5, introductions and footnotes. Do you read them or avoid, and what makes for a good introduction? Well, I definitely read them. Maybe not every word, but I will generally scan them to see if there's anything of interest to me. And I'd say a good introduction kind of tells you a little bit about maybe why the author wrote the book, what's the point they wanted to get across. And if that's not possible, then it's great to have an intro that's been written by maybe another famous person to tell you why the book is important and what is kind of like its place in history. I'll give an example of that. I have it here. The edition of Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank that I have happens to have an intro by Eleanor Roosevelt, and I loved it because I love Eleanor Roosevelt for one thing, but I just loved what she had to say about the book. It also has an afterword, which was written by a friend of Anne Frank's who saw her in the concentration camp that she was in, and I just found that to be extremely moving. I read part of it, the part of it where that friend of hers meets Anne at the fence of the concentration camp and gets a chance to speak with her, and describes, how emaciated she is, how sick she is, and that, she knows that Anne is ready to die. And I read that part in my video review of this book, and I really wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get through it without tearing up, because it is very moving, obviously. So, yeah, I think those introductions, afterwards, footnotes, those kinds of things are really part of the reading experience. So now number 6 is about actual accessories. Do you use bookish accessories like a clip-on reading light, a book sleeve, annotation materials, or a bookstand? I do use my clip-on light in the morning when I read, so I don't wake up everybody else. It's just like an ET finger. Of course, I only need that when I'm reading a physical book. I usually have also by me my annotation materials, my Post-it notes, whatever, if I'm pretty sure I'm going to be needing that for the type of book that I'm reading. So number 7 is art and illustrations. How do cover art and illustrations affect your reading experience? They probably generally don't, but I think there's 2 kinds that really can influence my reading experience, and those would be photos and maps, because if those are included, I don't know, it just kind of gives you more of a sense of who the people are, what they looked like, the map kind of showing distances, where they went, where they didn't go. So yeah, I think those 2 can really help. Number 8 is about format. Which format of books do you prefer? Hardback, paperback, audio, or digital? And do you do different things for different situations? Well, I would say that overall, my favorite and definitely the you know format in which I've read the most would be from the paperback. That right now that I'm a little bit older, I have to be a little careful with this mass market size. It used to be my favorite because you could carry it around everywhere, but sometimes nowadays the print is just too small for me. So the larger size paperbacks are nice. And sometimes the covers on those can be nearly as durable as a hardback. So, yeah, they're nice to have. I definitely do different things for different situations. Audio is really just kind of when exercising or out walking for me now. It used to be when I was commuting, so I did it a lot more often. And although I prefer a physical book, I still do buy Kindle books. You get a list to pick some from Prime that are free each month. So I do that if it comes to my attention. Or if it's a book where I'm just kind of trying out the author, or if it's on special for 99 cents or something, well, I can just as well buy the Kindle version as anything else. Raina, why are you hiding there? So yeah, I can do those. So generally, Kindle and paperback would probably be my favorites. So the ninth and final prompt is to tag some others. I will put a list in the description. And as always, I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, and have a great day.